Alright, welcome back to more Ignorance in Basketball. Now, before I start the video, I got another email from YouTube and they wanted me to tell you guys that if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, well, you know when you walk into a room and you forget why you came in there? That'll never happen to you ever again. So, once in a lifetime opportunity, do with the information what you want to do with the information. But let's get into the video because, as usual, this one's going to be a tough sell. So, these are the top 5 things that the Suns need to work on to bring home that chip. So I'm really not even talking about what they need to do once they get to the playoffs. And for the record, everybody was like, oh, maybe the Suns could make the fucking play-in game again. Maybe they could be the 8th seed. What the No, that's fucking stupid. And I explained why that's stupid in my last video. If they're healthy. I mean, if Chris Paul and Devin Booker go out for the whole season, they're fucked, but if either of them, and I do mean either of them, are healthy for most of the season, they're going to make the playoffs. That's fucking silly. But I digress. So in this video, I'm really just talking about what they need to work on throughout this season so when the playoffs come around, they'll be ready. So let's start off with the first thing is pretty obvious. They need to build chemistry. I mean, there's 9 new guys on the team. A lot of people haven't played with each other. And they need to figure out, who likes the ball where, when they like the ball, when people cut, all the typical basketball shit. And I think that's going to lower the turnovers because that's a big thing. I've noticed they've been turning the ball over a lot. And once everything is settled and people are comfortable with each other, I think that the Suns I know that the Suns have the potential to be a top 3 offense. And I want to say top 5 defense, but I'll be a little conservative and say top 10. And usually that's on caliber with a championship team. If you're top 10 or top 5 in both, you have a good chance of winning a championship. Now, people are going to say I'm crazy, so let me hit you with some stats and some facts. Last season, the Suns were 17th in defense and 12th in offense. Now, I can already hear people bitching and saying, how are they going to be top 3 this season if they weren't even top 10 last season? Let me explain with some facts. So, because I have the internet and I have knowledge and I have a keyboard and shit, I can look things up. So I found out that when Devin Booker was on the floor with them, with the Suns last season, they were top 2 offense. So I'm assuming, call me crazy, that they're either going to stagger Chris Paul and Devin Booker's minutes so that doesn't dip the fuck down again, or preferably the bench will just be better so that way when the bench does come in, there's not some huge fucking drop off, because that's how you lose a lot of games. I've seen a lot of teams lose games like that. Like the starting 5 could be great, but once that bench comes in, fucking things go downhill fast. So that takes care of the offense. Now, the defense, this is how I see it. First off, the difference between a top 17 and a top 10 isn't that great. Let's be real. The percentages are pretty fucking small. But defensively, I mean, they added Crowder. They added Chris Paul. Ayton is the key, though, because if he, and I'm going to talk about this later in the video, but if he can really become that defensive anchor that they really need him to be, then they could be a really good offense. Because honestly, in stints, he can guard 1 through 5 because he's quick, he's athletic, and he's agile enough. He's agile enough to actually guard guards on the perimeter pretty well. So he's not like a fucking Steven Adams, where if he's on the perimeter, he's just fucked. He actually can move his feet pretty well. So I think that's going to be the key to their defense, and I think Chris Paul's going to stay on everybody's ass and be fucking screaming at people, telling his team what play the other team is running before they even start running it. So I think that's going to help a lot too. Next, let's talk about, I think the second most important thing is their bench. So the bench is all pretty much new. I actually just saw, as I'm making this video, I got an update from Bleacher Report that Frank Kaminsky's coming back, so that could be a good thing. I don't really know that much about him, to be honest. I watched him get drafted, but other since then, I haven't seen him play much. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, it can't be a bad thing, but I don't know how much of a plus that is. But like I was saying, the bench is going to be vital because Chris Paul's old. He is my favorite player, but he is old. In basketball terms, he is 95. So he's going to need as much rest as possible if he's going to be healthy when the playoffs come around, because Lord fucking knows, no Suns fan wants a game 6 against the Warriors situation where you have the team that everybody said you have no chance of beating right in the fucking palm of your hands, and then this old man falls down again. So nobody wants that. So to eliminate that, or at least alleviate that worry, he needs as much rest as possible. Now, I don't want him being fucking Kawhi Leonard and playing 15 games a season, but I don't want fucking D'Antoni minutes on him, alright? He doesn't need to be playing fucking 42 minutes a game. He is not Damian Lillard. So, that's going to be huge. Now, they have a lot of things to figure out. Like I said, the bench is pretty much damn near new. So, this is what I've seen with the bench, and I'm trying to take this with a grain of salt because I realize that, one, it's fucking preseason and they were throwing lineups left and right, like new lineups out left and right. And two, the Lakers and the Jazz are like two of the best defensive teams in the league, so it's kind of tough when you're trying new shit and you're playing against a really good defense before you even like are comfortable with each other. So, I mean, that's probably like worst case scenario of how the bench is going to play. But from what I saw, it's like you have a bunch of 3-and-D guys out there and then a center. They don't have like somebody who can like, really facilitate and make plays. Like Javon Carter's not really that guy. I think he's better off the ball. I think Moore is better off the ball. I think Galloway is better off the ball. I think the only person they have is Cameron Payne. In one game he was fucking terrible, and the next game he was pretty good. But like, is Cameron Payne gonna be good enough to be that second point guard coming off the bench and for a championship team when he was fucking out of the league a year ago? Like, I don't know. I hope so, but honestly, I don't know. I think he could be. I mean, he was a lottery pick from the Thunder, who fucking never get picks wrong. This man has a great track record of picks, but you guys get what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe they'll make a trade. Maybe they can just play well, like a kind of like a Spurs. They'll just move the ball around well. They don't need that. I don't know, but that's something I'll definitely be looking at, because a lot of the times when I was watching the bench, and I mean like the bench, not like Devin Booker and 4 guys or Chris Paul and 4 guys or Ayton and 4 guys. Like, I mean, when the bench is in, they looked lost. They didn't look great offensively. I think they could be really good defensively, especially because they have so many wings, but that's definitely something I'll be looking at. Number 3 is kind of how I talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but DeAndre Ayton's progression throughout the season. I really do think he is kind of the most important person on the team, because he has to be that defensive anchor, and their defense is the most important thing for them. And I think he's going to be that third or maybe even second scorer on the team, leading scorer on the team. So this is what I've seen from him last season a little bit, and definitely in these preseason games. And again, trying to take it with a grain of salt because it's fucking preseason. And he's got a lot of new shit on his plate, and I understand that. I'm a compassionate young man. I get it. People have situations. But this is what I've noticed. So defensively, he has like the physical capabilities to, like I said, guard 1 through 5. He has the physical capabilities to be a great defender. But his discipline and his effort isn't always there. There's a lot of times where he's not helping people when he should be. He can get beat up by guys who are bigger. I think he could be a lot tougher offensively. Like I said, you're not from Europe, so don't play like you are. He needs a little bit of Zach Randolph in him. If Zach Randolph could spend, a couple weeks at his house, I think that would be great. Maybe we could put him in a Scared Straight program, just toughen him up a little bit, because he seems like he might be a little soft. and that could be a problem, especially when you're playing against LeBron and AD. So, but honestly, I think he's gotten a lot of shit that he doesn't deserve, and I'm talking about Ayton still, just because he was the #1 pick, and Luka Doncic is the best white thing since, I don't know, vanilla ice cream. I mean, fucking people love this man, rightfully so. He's good as shit. So, but I still think he is a very good player. It's not like they picked fucking Mariah Carey or something for the #1 pick. They still picked a dude who's really good. So, you know, I don't want to completely shit on the man. He is very fucking good. But I'm just saying, if he wants to be excellent, these are some of the things you gotta work on. And trust me, he knows. Next, this one is a bit of a stretch, but this is what I mean. I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest, but it would be ideal. Jalen Smith's progression. So, again, another guy who's getting a lot of shit for even being the 10th pick. I mean, I saw so many, like, Suns fail videos when they picked him as the 10th pick, which I think, again, I don't know shit about college basketball, but I could definitely see why they picked him. They picked for need, not necessarily talent. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but it's like they need a 4 who can, like, stretch the floor and play good defense, and that's what he is. So it makes sense to me, but, you know, people are emotional. But so what I've seen from him, again, I have to take a lot of what I've seen with a grain of salt, because one, this is like the worst rookie season for everybody because there's no summer league, and college basketball was a fucking mess because of COVID. And, you know, everything is shortened. He had less time to do everything, and people aren't even playing 5s in a gym, so I get it. It's tough. But I haven't seen a lot of great shit. This is what I've noticed. Jalen Smith seems like somebody who has the talent and has the physical capabilities. He just needs to get used to the NBA. He looks a little lost. Even the coach said he's not really used to, like, the speed and the pace of the game yet. So, you know, I don't know if this season will be enough for him to get playoff ready, but I think, like, within the years he could be really good. But I say that he's ideal because he's big as shit. He's like 7 feet tall damn near, and he was a really good defensive player in college. And I think when it comes to, like, who's going to guard it, Anthony Davis, is it going to be Cameron Johnson? He's too small. Now, he could guard him, but not well. You know, there's only so much he could do. And is it going to be Crowder? He's too fucking small. So it's going to be tough. And I think as far as, like, body-wise, Jalen Smith would be ideal. Especially because, I mean, offensively he could spread the floor as well. So I think that would help a lot. But I think, you know, Cameron Johnson and Crowder are great defenders, but there's only so much they could do. I mean, shit. Anthony Davis is fucking 7 feet tall and can shoot threes and post up and do fadeaways and do everything. So, I mean, the guy was doing fucking step back threes. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? You know what I mean? It's fucking annoying. So, I think he has the best chance of guarding him if he can, like, get ready and comfortable. Now, it's probably not going to happen, but it would be ideal. And, you know, sometimes good things happen. Most of the time they don't, but sometimes they do. And lastly is luck. And I don't want to be corny. This isn't fucking like Mike 3 or something, but everybody knows you need luck in the playoffs. And I don't mean the Warriors, every point guard we play is injured luck. But I mean the team needs to be healthy. I think they could be any team healthy if they're healthy. So health is going to be huge. As I've said, Chris Paul is old as hell. So he needs his hamstring and his ankles and his knees and all that shit to be in good condition when it matters. Devin Booker, he's only 24, but shit happens. Bridges doesn't seem like he gets hurt, but like I said on one of my other videos, I don't remember which one, I talk a lot. If the glue guy gets down, it's the fucking worst because nobody gives a shit, but you're still just as screwed. So everybody needs to be healthy. Literally everybody. It seems like everybody. I mean, if fucking Cameron Payne gets hurt, it's a big deal, it seems like. So everybody needs to be healthy, and that's going to take luck to get that done. So I think that's it. I don't want this video to be too long because I don't really have a reason. But I just don't want it to be. And it's my fucking video, so I can do what I want. But if you made it to the end, I do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you guys have anything that you're going to be looking out for throughout the season. And we can talk about it. I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.